You're listening to Mainstreet Unscripted with myself, Matthew Wallen, and my co-host, Holly Nash.
This is a podcast put on by Casa Grande Main Street, a local nonprofit organization here in Casa Grande, Arizona.
And let us begin. Welcome to the Main Street Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Wallen, and I'm with my co-host,
Holly Nash.
Holly Nash. Hey, Holly, how are you?
Fantastic.
It has been actually a little longer than our last recording.
Yeah, I think it's been exactly a month. We spaced it out a little more.
Exactly a month?
I don't know.
Well, I'm very happy to be here on episode number 4. And you may have just noticed on camera that we have a very special guest that just popped up who obviously can't be quiet enough to keep the camera from jumping. But
I didn't even say anything.
We have a very special guest with us today. We have the director, the creative director for Black Box Theater, Emmi Rakoci. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, hi, Emmi.
Hi, I'm Emmi Rakoci.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm the artistic director of the Black Box Foundation. I also work at the Cookie Jar downtown. I have worked there for going on 6 years now, which is insane to me. It feels like yesterday. And I'm trying to think of like a fun hobby fact. I make fairy wings as a hobby. Yeah.
And I've actually seen her fairy wings. They're actually really good. She could make a little bit of a side gig or a side hustle out of it if she really did it, because they're amazing, for real. So anyway, today we're talking about a little bit about collaboration. And so we have Emmi in here to be able to discuss a little bit about that with us today. But before we get into that, we want to kind of go over a little bit about some updates for downtown.
Yeah, so there's so much happening downtown.
Usually there is.
There really is.
And people say nothing happens down there. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how irritating that is to me. But like just the basic stuff. I mean, so Pour Therapy, which opened, 2 months ago, they have changed their hours to now have weekend brunch, which who doesn't love brunch?
Right.
Right. I'm so excited. I went with my bestie, Kayla. It's delicious. Their mimosas are good. They have Bloody Marys, espresso martinis. So your true brunch experience is now in Casa Grande instead of somewhere else. So they are open Saturday from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. for brunch, and then they open again for dinner at 3 p.m.
Nice.
And then they're open Sunday for brunch from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. So literally all day long.
All day brunch?
All day brunch.
Like open and close?
Hey, some people wake up from hangovers at 1 p.m. Some people wake up at 4 p.m. You know, you got to be able to get your brunch.
Nice.
And then, but with that, we also have the Cookie Jar is open for breakfast all day now. So they used to stop serving at 10:45, and they have extended their breakfast menu to their closing time. And I'll let Emmi talk on that because I don't work there. I don't know their specific hours because sometimes the sign says ish.
Now, what people may not understand is that Emmi also works at the Cookie Jar.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So the director thing for Black Box, that's purely for fun and for like, you're not getting paid for that, right?
I don't get paid a livable wage, no.
There we go. That's what it is.
No.
So you get a little bit of a stipend.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
A very small stipend. Yes. So Cookie Jar, yes, we now have all-day breakfast, a limited breakfast menu. It includes all of your favorites like our big breakfast, our French toast, our biscuits and gravy, breakfast burritos, steak and eggs, all kinds of really good stuff on there. And we are open from 6:30 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then Saturday we are open 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Sunday we are open 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Nice.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most popular dish at the Cookie Jar?
Ooh, most popular dish would probably be our biscuits and gravy. They are the best in town. Like
Biscuits and gravy?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's definitely our most popular.
When I'm there, I see a lot of people order that. So it must be. So
Yes.
what's your favorite?
I mean, am I there for breakfast or lunch?
Well, now it's all day. Both.
Yeah, now you have a choice.
Ooh, that's gonna be rough. So if I'm there for breakfast, I'm typically getting, I don't know, I get their chorizo, but then sometimes I do get their biscuits and gravy combo. And then I add meat to it because I can't help it, but I love bacon. But for lunch, I typically do the chicken salad sandwich, the apple walnut, no tomato. Not a fan of tomato. But that's going to be rough now.
You have to pick.
I know.
You know what, though? You can mix it up. Sometimes you can do breakfast. Sometimes you can do lunch. Now you don't have to pick and choose. Now you're not stuck in a rut. You're not stuck with the same thing every single time.
If there is macaroni salad, though, I do, in fact, order that. Not even a doubt.
Well, diversity is the spice of life, and it sounds like we got a lot of options down there, right?
There are. And that's not even it. So the other thing that has changed is Casa Collective has shifted to summer hours, where they used to be open a little earlier. It's just, let's be honest, it's too hot.
Yeah.
So they're still open Tuesday through Sunday, but now they are opening at 4 p.m. instead of like 2 and 3. Tuesday through Thursday, they're open 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Friday is 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Same thing for Saturday. And then Sunday, they also have like a brunch depending on the food trucks that are there, and they are open from about 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the bar. And then something else that we have downtown with Space 108.
Wait, before you go on, I want to add that Casa Collective also switched from the crappy plastic cups to glass cups. And some people, they don't care. They'll get it in plastic. Other people, they won't drink anything out of anything but glass. So they really upped the game, and it's a totally different experience when you get it in the glass. I don't know why that is, but it is.
I love Casa Collective. Like, it's a gem. It's awesome. It just brings the whole atmosphere like up. But with that, going into Space 108, we also have a new vendor in there. So the whole vibe in Space 108 has recently changed. It's very boutique-y now. And it's
Space 108 is our collaborative business incubator for Main Street.
Yes, our retail incubator.
Yes.
And it's a retail collective, so we have different vendors in there selling different items. But right now, we just brought in ILIT, which stands for I Love It there. And there's candles, little like easel boards with pictures from different areas downtown that kids can paint on, coloring books for them to color, postcards. And we have some art coming in from that as well. So it's very boutique-y and it's very Casa Grande. So anyone looking for something like super unique, like that is the place to go right now.
Totally localized.
Completely localized. Trying to think update-wise, like that's kind of it on that end. But then we have so many events happening as well. So we have...
Lay it down.
Yeah, we have the Downtown Dinner Roll coming up at the end of May 30th. It's a Saturday.
This is a favorite event of mine for some reason.
Matt is partial to the dinner roll, ROLL, because we ride bicycles, but you also eat. It's a progressive dinner on bicycles. You start out at Casa Collective. We'll have appetizers provided by Big House Cafe. You ride your bike to Cookie Jar, and then you get a dinner salad, and then you ride your bike to Pour Therapy.
Mm-hmm.
They have ribs and mac and cheese, and then you ride your bike back to Casa Collective. We're peddling paletas.
Nice.
Also, Matt will
not me. My
Patricia.
wife. Yes.
We love Trisha. Where you'll get a paleta and you can buy drinks at Casa Collective while you're there. You can buy drinks at Pour Therapy. It's just a really fun, like just unique experience. You get to see downtown Casa Grande for it, and $35 per person. Like
it's too cheap.
That's worth it for the ribs alone.
It does pay for itself. Like we don't make money on it. The whole point of the dinner roll is to put the money back into the businesses.
Right.
So during the summertime, it's really hard for our businesses. So Main Street finds ways to keep them, thriving. Not only are we giving them money, but then we're showing people about these businesses. There's people who come from out of town for this event.
Right.
So it's exposure. And it's just cool and it's fun. Apparently people who ride bikes know how to have fun.
That was the idea behind the dinner roll, was to share the businesses that are downtown and to allow people to kind of test a little bit of what they have to offer. And we've had 2 so far, and everybody that went to them came back with nothing but rave positive comments about it. And so this one, how many tickets are we giving this time? Is it 35 or 40?
We do 36, so
36.
that theoretically you can have couples.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I mean, it's fun.
Bring a +1.
I'm bringing +3.
You're messing up the algorithm.
No, there'll be 4 of us. There'll be 2 couples.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I do have a question really quick. So say you wanted to do the bike roll, the Casa Grande bike roll, downtown dinner roll. Sorry, let me get the name right. If you don't own a bicycle by chance, could you rent one from somewhere local? Or do you just sell bikes, or do you also rent bicycles?
We could work something out for sure.
Okay.
If you don't have a bike, come see me. We'll get it. We'll find a solution for you for sure. So
Good, because I'm gonna need a bike.
I think you and Kayla both needed bikes.
And her boyfriend.
And wow. Oh, I have just a thing for him actually, because he's kind of a taller dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Emmy knows. Anyway, so sorry, Emmy. All right, so moving right along.
So another thing on the Casa Grande Main Street calendar of events. So YARHAP is Yoga Recovering Healing Arts Program. They host the open mic the second Saturday of every month over at the Museum of Casa Grande Heritage Hall. But they're also hosting
Tonight, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we are here instead. No, not unfortunately.
We're blazing there afterwards, probably.
Yeah, we are.
Right.
We're riding our bikes over there. But they're hosting yoga every Monday at 6:30 p.m. It is at Thrive Academy, which is not in downtown, but YARHAP is a Main Street member. And I believe it was a $5 donation. So go get your yoga on.
Who's teaching the yoga class?
That I'm unsure of. I don't know if it's Tiffany or if they have sometimes they have different yoga instructors step in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then since Casa Collective again, they're always busy. We have bingo every week. They also have paint and sips frequently. They have different art projects, like the dot paints. They had like the insect pinnings. So just as summer goes on, like follow their calendar or the Main Street calendar, because there is literally something every single week there. Even if it's just bingo, but their bingo is so fun. Like they have something next Saturday called Loco Bingo, which is like an after dark bingo. And it's like a fun adult bingo. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it.
Adult bingo. That sounds scandalous.
It says Loco Bingo. Then we also have Art Mobile. She's downtown on Florence Street. She has Creative Clay Connections on May 19th and May 26th. For anyone who doesn't know, Art Mobile is fantastic. She does so much for the community. It's literally free art most of the time. You can make donations. But with the Clay Connections, she has wheels for you to spin your own clay. Like you can go in there and do whatever. Like it's amazing. Lisa is fantastic. I don't have the times for that. I couldn't find them posted on her website, but maybe check her Facebook page. And as it comes up, I'm sure they'll be posted more. So again, follow the Main Street calendar of events or Art Mobile online. And then at the end of May 23rd, 24th, 29th, 30th, and 31st, I think Emmy knows what those days all are. It is the Lightning Thief at Black Box.
The Lightning Thief.
The Lightning Thief, a Percy Jackson musical. Oh, very exciting.
What?
I know there's so much hard work has gone into this production, not only from the cast, but like our costume department really stepped their game up for this production specifically. Every single piece that the cast is wearing has been handpicked by our costume designer to mean something. So like from like a t-shirt has like some sort of backstory meaning, and it's just beautiful. And our set is gorgeous. Our set department has worked so hard to make every set recently just look so phenomenal. And the kids are so talented. It's a teen show, so going up to ages of 19. But they have just worked so hard. Those shows are, like Holly said, they're the last 2 weekends in May. Tickets are $15, and you can get them at blackboxcg.org, as well as find out more information about other shows coming up after. But you should get tickets soon because almost every single one of our shows sell out. So it's really hard to get tickets at the door for these things. Definitely buy in advance.
How awesome is it that our local theater sells out?
It's really
Like,
awesome.
I think it's amazing.
I've said it before in previous podcasts that the Black Box does like this amazing job. Like everything that you guys do, I'm expecting very little because it's community theater, right? And I know that there's not this massive budget, right? But there is some serious talent that goes into it. There's been a few different things that I've seen that were the best versions of that from a community theater that I've ever seen. And my buddy, he lives in Los Angeles and he's big into theater, TV, movies, all this stuff, right? And I was telling him, I said, our local community theater is like the bomb. They put out such good quality productions. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what's behind it, but you guys definitely have like a little bit of lightning in the bottle that's happening over there right now. And so if you can get tickets, because they do sell out, then it's definitely worthwhile checking out for sure. It's awesome.
I mean, in the same thing, the only other upcoming event I had was the Black Box Performing Arts Summer Camp. And I mean, I have the dates written down, but Emmi, you probably do better than I would.
So our Performing Arts Summer Camp is June 8th through 18th, Monday through Thursday. Registration for that is filling up super quick this year. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. It's on the same blackboxcg.org. It is such a good program. We help support local, We typically have about 30 to 40 kids in this program learning about performing arts, learning about theater, learning dance and singing and how to do stage combat and just like public communications, all kinds of things that you wouldn't expect necessarily come out of a theater, including we have a PE program midway through the day, which is really great as well. And it's just this overall really beautiful program. We start every single day has a different speaker. So we have directors, actors, voice actors, comedians, public figures come in and talk about their experience in these things. And then they have Curity classes. They have 4 different classes besides that one and PE throughout the day where they're learning about all these great things. And it has just really been a really encouraging program. And this year we were able to, thanks to the arts and
Arts and cultures.
Thank you. Sorry. I always confuse it with a different one. But Arts and Cultures grant, we were able to give away a lot more scholarships this year. And that has been a big goal of mine because I like to keep theater as affordable as possible for everyone. People coming to see shows, people being in shows, kids learning, adults learning. I think it should be as affordable as possible, especially when you live in a small community. So,
and I mean, I spoke, 2 years ago? I talked about confidence, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first year.
Shocker.
Nice. Well, I mean, that kind of segues right into what we want to talk about today. I mean, I was going to kind of go through like a little bit of last episode recap or whatever, but I feel like we're naturally transitioning already into kind of our like topic, right? And a lot of that, we've talked about community partners and community collaboration, right? We've had lots of discussion about that recently. There's been a lot of bad juju going around the downtown area and some other things, but this type of thing with Black Box is, and this is a lot of why we brought Emmi in here, was because she's a community partner. She's not necessarily a collaborator. We don't necessarily work with her in terms of like collaborative events or anything like that, but we definitely promote everything that they do because they're a very valuable community resource for us. And without them, frankly, there's not enough arts in Casa Grande. I feel like we have plenty of room for more. And Black Box is at the heart of the theater and at the heart of what that creative end of things is in Casa Grande right now. There isn't anything else out here right now. And so to have that resource, we have to support that. And so talk a little bit more about how we help as...
Yeah, so one of the 4 pillars through Main Street America, which is why it has transitioned into one of Main Street's mission and goals, is that we foster partnerships. When I took over, that was huge for me, just because I grew up here and all the connections that I had and made, and nothing happens alone. Like you just, nothing good happens alone. Like you have to have input and you have to have collaboration and you have to have friends, and not even friends, but you have to work together. So when it comes to Black Box, like I did a play there when I was in high school. You know, my family was involved and still is involved, but it's not even just that. They're downtown. They're in the women's club building. They're in a historic building that's on the registry. They partner with us for our events. We help them when we can, but we want there to be things to do, right? Everyone wants things to do in Casa Grande, and there's something to do monthly at Black Box. So, of course, we're going to support that.
Yeah.
Whether that's advertising, talking about it on our podcast, helping out when we can. There's been summers. It's too hot to do anything outside during the summer.
Bringing the creative director in to talk with us.
Exactly. But like during summer times, like that was a thing. I think 3 years ago, I was like, it's too hot. We can't do anything outside. Like, what are you guys can we do something? What can we do? A couple years ago, we hosted like a Goonies movie night. Main Street paid for the rights for the Goonies movies, which if anyone doesn't know, rights for movies are expensive. You cannot just show a movie.
Rights for plays are expensive.
Yeah. So we brought that in. We had like a Goonies party. Everyone dressed up like the Goonies, and we just watched the Goonies. But it put people into the theater, and the theater was created for that, and it's a place for community. We did Main Street provided liquor licenses for a couple of plays over summers. We did a Disney karaoke, just different things to get people involved. And I think that was a big thing, is showing people like, hey, we do have this place where like you can come be together. You can come watch movies. You can watch plays. You can do all these things, like take advantage of it. And for Main Street, we gain nothing from that, but we do, because we gain more community. we don't like financially gain, and we don't gain with membership or anything, but what we do and what we want is people to be a part of the community. We want people to come downtown. And that is a big reason for people to come downtown.
For sure. Now, and that's the whole point of it. That's one of our missions, is to bring people here.
Yeah.
And Black Box is a great theater. I mean, how has your relationship with Main Street, how has it helped you, and how has it helped the theater?
That's a great question. So actually, with Main Street, one of the biggest things they do to help us is that they help support us by sending things like, for our Disney karaoke, Main Street provided a face painter, which really boosted our advertisement, because a lot of people saw that it was a more elaborate event, and they help with promoting. They post all of our stuff out on social media, and they put it on all their flyers and things. It is great publicity to be a part of Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
Main Street has also given us helped with, like, whenever we do Terminus Days or things like those kinds of like street events, they'll give us supplies to do an art booth where we can make like masks. We've done that a few times. Or they'll help us by letting us be a part of those events where we can hand out flyers for upcoming shows. And we get a lot of publicity at the street fair in January. Every January, we hand out thousands of flyers for all of our upcoming year and our upcoming events. And that is just a wonderful way that they've helped us, is just getting our name out there and then helping support us stay working. So Holly has all these great ideas that she'll bring to us and say, hey, we want to do something this summer. And we're a great place in the summer, because that's our lowest time of year, is the summer, whenever there's no snowbirds. There are a lot of kids out of school, but parents are still working, so transportation can be hard. So finding events that are like centered around family time and family events, that when it's not hot out and things like that, has really helped us stay busy during the summer times and still make a little bit of money to stay open in the summer. So we don't have to, like, a lot of theaters close in the summer. So that we don't have to do that, luckily, because of Main Street, people like Main Street helping us. But Main Street has done so much for Black Box in the terms of just publicity and just, yeah, overall.
Well, now you're kind of an integral part of the downtown area as far as what's happening down there. And I can't imagine summers without Black Box at this point, right? I mean, it's become such an integral part of the community, an integral part of stuff to do during the summer, especially for the kids. You had mentioned about doing the events and how that helps kind of promote and stuff like that. Having you guys at the events, it provides, like, I think you guys occupy more than 50% of the different things that we see on the stage. And without Black Box, we actually wouldn't have any community partners or community entertainment for that type of thing. There just isn't, again, that environment isn't here yet. And Black Box provides that. So for us, it's a direct benefit. I'm glad to hear that it's a benefit for you and a benefit for the Black Box Theater.
I do want to touch on, I know that we promote for you, but do you personally feel like we go out of our way to only do that, or do you take advantage of like the opportunities we provide? Just because that's something that we get hit with a lot, is that, Main Street we have 2 staff members and we do what we can, but we're a platform, and we've always put it out that way, that we're a platform for people to take advantage of. So I guess like your input, like, do you feel like we do it, or do you feel like we give you the space to do it and you're just taking advantage of it?
I definitely feel like it's a mindset of, when something's offered you, not letting it pass. So when we're offered a spot at the street fair, you don't just say, oh, no, we're good, or let it pass until it's too late. And you're like, oh, day before the street fair. And you're like, oh, what about our spot? Well, you were supposed to let us know a week ago. And that's what it's really about, is that Main Street has given us so much, like you said, opportunities to be part of the community in these events that you're doing, that we've created a great partnership where now we can do it together. Where not only are we going to your events and helping with entertainment, helping with, arts and bringing things like that there, but then you can come to us and say, hey, we want to now bring it to you. because we're so involved with each other. And I think like that is because Black Box has taken advantage of every single opportunity that's been given to us by everyone. So,
well, see, that brings up a really good point. And like we got kind of a positive vibe going, so I'm a little hesitant to even bring this up, but I'm going to. I'm going to. The problem is, recently there's been groups of people in the downtown area that have talked about. They've always consistently been negative about Main Street. They've been consistently negative about the organization. They've been directly negative about Holly. They've been negative in a way that really, frankly, just isn't productive. It's in fact, it's very divisive. And now I hear rumors about they want to start their own downtown coalition or something goofy like that. And we have already tried to establish something that's universal for everybody and try to open it up for everybody to take advantage of. We don't play favorites. We don't have one person that we like more than another. We don't have this type of thing. We leave it open. We say, hey, we're here, take advantage of what we have to offer. But if we're not doing it exactly a specific way that they think that we should do it, right, it becomes this thing. And it actually kind of pisses me off a little bit because I don't understand why all these people that all seemingly have the same goals don't collaborate together and work together towards that common goal. Why it is that they're divisive over petty things. And really that's what it comes down to, is petty things. Like as I'm listening to Emmi talk about this, I'm thinking, well, yeah, why every opportunity presented to her, she's taking advantage of it. And you have a positive growth mindset. That's why you're not fixed. You're not stuck in an old modality of doing things. You're not stuck in mired down by, well, we should be doing this and we should be doing that. Well, those things haven't worked. If they did work, then we wouldn't be in the position that we are. There wouldn't be, we're trying to take it to the next level. We're trying to get it to where we're doing something more. And Holly takes all this heat, and I you know what? And it makes you feel terrible because like she shouldn't have to take all the heat, right? But she does. But she's always stayed the course, and she's always stayed focused on what our core mission is. And you, Emmi, this is exactly that type of thing that we're talking about. This is exactly what we want. And you're not the only community partner that's taking advantage of that either. There's other people that when they take advantage of the opportunity given to them, they thrive.
I think I have some insight into this as a member instead of somebody working for Main Street. Is I definitely think it's, like I said before, it's just a mindset of a lot of people see that they are quote unquote paying for something, right? And we have this because kids don't pay a lot to be in our productions, but they're learning so much for, 100 hours of theater, which it's only $50 to be in a show. That's like nothing compared to the hours. That's 50 cents an hour that you're paying your instructors to teach you, right? But people think when they pay like a small amount to be part of Main Street that all of a sudden Main Street is an advertisement agency for some reason, which is just not what they're advertised as. That's not the truth. And I think that people want to think that because they're signing up for something or because they're paying for something, they're going to get like pampered, and they're very spoiled when it comes to running their businesses. They're used to everything being handed to them instead of working for it. And that's no hate towards like other people. I think that there are a lot of amazing people downtown that are working really hard to keep the community together. But it's all about the opportunities you've been given. If somebody says, I want to, if you come downtown for this event, the next 3 of your shows are going to sell out. Now, you don't have that guarantee in life, but you have to be willing to then go for 5 hours in the heat and coordinate volunteers and coordinate a way to intrigue people to come to your business, not just think that people are going to come to your business because it exists. That's not how a business works.
Right.
And if you don't have a business mindset in everything, I mean, I run a nonprofit, and you still have to run it like a business because you need people to come to your events more than when it's a for-profit, because how else are you going to keep the doors open, pay people, all of that? And yeah, I mean, we've said it a million times so far, but it's just like, it's about taking advantage of those opportunities given to you. You can't just let it pass you by. You can't just let it, expect that Holly and Stephanie, the 2 people that work at Main Street, are going to post all of or add, they're going to post every single day about your business, and they're going to tell every single person that comes through the door to specifically go to your one business when there's, how many businesses downtown, right? Like, you have to evenly be like, hey, or for example, one time, and this is just an example of this, is Holly always reaches out to all the businesses. What is coming up for this quarter? She makes a quarterly Main Street focus. What is coming up for this quarter? I need it by date, insert date. If I do not get that information to Holly by insert date, I do not get put in the Main Street focus. It's not on her to scour my website and to ask me 5 times for that information. It's on me to go, oh, I have the opportunity to put my information in a booklet that is given out all over Casa Grande for free. That is a really nice, like mini magazine. It's a focus, so it's really cool. I actually really love getting them. But, you know, if I do not give her that information, take advantage of the opportunity, I'm not going to be in that. You know, if I don't send her my flyers and dates, she's not going to scour the internet for them, you know?
Right.
When she says, hey, do you want to come on a podcast? I make time for it because that's important in my growth as our growth as a company.
Sure.
Right.
Well, and that's a very good point. It isn't something that we're just the dog that you just paid into to do your bidding. And when I first joined Main Street, that was one of the things that made me the angriest, and probably actually the catalyst for why I joined was because the way that Holly was treated was awful. I watched as she was like kicked around, and people are going to be like, oh, poor Holly, blah, 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 whatever. You weren't there. It was awful. And so we've made this concerted effort to become something that is productive. And like we talked about last time, what we're doing, it's working. And what we're doing, it's actually attracting businesses to come down. Poor Therapy and the whole terminal project wouldn't have happened, right? If Main Street hadn't beautified, hadn't been a part of, hadn't actively been engaged in making the area what it is. And that's on Main Street. Main Street's done a lot of that. And we've had lots of people collaboratively help with that. And that's been amazing. But at the end of the day, Main Street's the one that got it done. And Holly, you know, we don't give you props enough. And I know I don't want to call you out, but you've done a lot of this. A lot of this is because of you, not in spite of you.
No, you make me feel like a victim over here. No, I mean, I do take a lot of heat, but I think I was built for it because it did used to sit on me for about 2 years, and then I had to learn how to like take it, and it's like, all right, well, still got to do our job.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's always interesting to me whenever somebody asks me like, oh, I mean, so for reference, yesterday I spent 3 hours in Florence because they want to recreate and just restart their Main Street program. And out of all the downtown associations that exist in this state, they reached out to me. So like, I did something right, you know? So I go talk to them and they're like, so what do you do? And I'm like, well, we do these 4 big events. We have these beautification projects. We have a retail incubator. I just did a video with Visit Arizona it's going to be sent out nationwide. We promote with these different areas. And they're like, well, how do you specify who to use? And I'm like, well, when we promote, we use Main Street members, obviously. But like listing what I did, they're like, oh, like, so are you paid? And I was like, I mean, I am.
Right.
Like, it's not I mean, we have a volunteer board, but I'm not a volunteer. I mean, take it or leave it that I'm paid. But
Somebody has to be.
yeah. And I mean, I still do it out of the goodness of my heart. Let's be honest.
I don't think they could pay you possibly enough to take the heat you take.
Well, and that brings up a point. Like, Holly's not making millions doing this, right? Like, I don't want to bring in that type of thing. I don't even know if that's even appropriate per se. But the fact is that it is a labor of love. And a lot of what Holly does isn't because she's just making money hand over fist, right? A lot of what you do. And I mean, this is turning into kind of like, oh, Holly, we're putting her up on a pedestal. She's going to have a big head. We're going to have to knock it down a little bit. But anyway, it's whatever is happening with this other group of people. I don't get it. Stop it. Like, it's ridiculous. Join the fold, work together. We listen. We try to do things. We try to collaborate. There's no bad ideas, right? There's sometimes terrible execution. And have we made mistakes? Absolutely. Yeah. And we're going to keep making mistakes. And you know what? Mistakes bring growth. That's how you learn. That's how you learn what works, what doesn't. We have to try things. And just because something didn't work before doesn't mean that it won't work now. And this area, the demographics changing, the whole entire economic buying power is changing. Everything about what is happening in the downtown area is changing. And you can either be part of that change or you can keep bitching about it, and you can keep complaining, and you can keep crying about how things aren't going your way, and how Main Street does nothing for you. Look around you, okay? Main Street's done a ton for you, and you are where you are because Main Street did what it did. Not just Holly's tenure, previous directors before all contributed, and it built up into something. Why are you there? Why are you in the Main Street area? If it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't do any good for you, why even be in the area? Why be in the district?
So I actually have a question that goes right along with that might be a little controversial. So if you don't want to talk about it, I suppose you don't have to. But what do you guys do about businesses that are directly like downtown that try and participate in all these events that Main Street does, but they're not a Main Street member? I've always wondered that. Like, how does that work? Because they're basically getting all the benefits of being a Main Street member for free. Not that you pay like a crazy amount to be a Main Street member, but it's like you're not a member of Main Street, but you're going to take advantage of every single good thing that Main Street does.
So for the record, to be a Main Street member downtown, because you benefit the most, it's $200 a month. Or not a month. $200 a year. And if you want your name listed on the physical directories that exist, it's $50 one-time payment, unless we have to change it for like an update. So $200 a year, maybe $250. But really, there's nothing we can do. So we exist for the betterment of the downtown district.
We actually celebrate it.
We do.
When somebody is successful because of something that we're doing, whether they're a Main Street member or not, I don't care. I would prefer that they would join and they would recognize what we've brought to the table. But
right, the way to get people to join your not-for-profit business of Main Street and to help everybody collaboratively do it would be to help by celebrating somebody, kill them with kindness, not with spears.
Now, I will say when it comes to promotion, like we only promote our members. When it comes to like advertisements, we advertise with our members. So when I did the Visit Arizona video, we went to Main Street members. Anytime I do Arizona Drive Guides, we use the members. I do neon sign park gigs probably twice a year for the news, and anything they mention, it's always a member. So like there are perks, but there are a lot of people who it's like, hey, you're not doing anything anymore for us. And that's fine if you feel like we're not doing anything else for you, okay. But just remember that when there's 30,000 people there for the street fair, somebody had to get them there.
Well, that's true. There's some businesses that view street fair, view all the downtown Halloween walk, which to me, it's all about the kids.
I love that event.
Me too.
We're literally handing out candy to children, and there's people that I hate the Halloween walk. I'm like, how can you hate it? Who hurt you? I mean, it's like, why? Why do you hate this? I don't understand. But there are still people that hate this whole entire thing. And I really, honestly, well, I'm not going to say it. Never mind. So we celebrate those that are successful and thriving because of us and because of the events that we have. If they can take advantage of it, fine. If you want to throw us a bone, join Main Street, be a collaborator, work with us, let us know when your events are. How about that? How about you just start by letting us know what you got going on? Just do that. You don't even have to be a member to do that.
I feel like people's first question, that might be a part of my different like mindset than some people. Obviously, not everybody. It's like the majority is obviously supporting Main Street, but I think that the mindset has to be like, what can I also do to improve? Like I've asked Holly that, hey, what can Black Box do to improve our relationship with Main Street, not just, benefit from you, but like what can I do? Which goes back to that, like, hey, send me your stuff on time,
Yep.
Well, there's always ways for me. Once I know somebody's interested, I keep like it's in my mind. So there's different grant opportunities. If somebody's interested, like I'm not going to necessarily reach out to every single member, but if I know somebody's making an effort and is participating and an active community member, when things pop up, I'm like, hey, this would be great for you. Mm-hmm. The one that comes to mind, I didn't get a grant for it, but the bookstore, 3 Saturdays ago, just celebrated for International Independent Bookstore Day. Like, we love the bookstore. The bookstore has been nothing but supportive. They are open for every single event. They participate in any way they can. anything we ask of them, if it's like, hey, can you put like a table of books out just during terminus days, just so people like are aware? Can you host the downtown reading program? Like, there's never been a no. Even if there was a no, like I would still probably hit them up. But it's just like they're so excited for every opportunity. But I think it's because of the same thing where it's like they view us as an additive, like we're not their business coordinator. But when I saw that they were hosting an event, I asked Tina, "Hey, how can I support this? How can Main Street help you? What are you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, well, we're going to hand out popcorn. We're going to hand out goodies." And I was like, "Okay, what if Main Street buys a couple books? We'll put in some tickets and you can sell them. You make the profit. We'll get them, donate them, however. You sell them and you make the profit. But then also all of the tickets that were inside of it, they were to the Downtown Ice Cream Shop, to Rose Love, to Cookie Jar, to Space 108. Like, we used our members. And so this book event now supported 7 members off the top of my head. And it was so financially like minimal. Like all we had to do was buy 20 books and I got half of them donated.
But that's the beauty.
Yeah.
Everyone working together towards the common good, towards, I can't stress it enough. Stop working against us, work with us. And those that already are, we're seeing it. Emmi's prime example, bookstore, prime example. These are entities that have never railed against what we've done. They've only embraced it and looked at it as opportunity. That is the only way that we get things done downtown, is if we work together. To be divisive and to create your own thing and to talk bad and do this other stuff, there's people that have brought events, quote unquote, into light that they were going to do on the regular. They did it one time and it never happened again. Why?
Because events are hard, guys.
Hard. And yet we've consistently done our events. And there's things that have come and gone. Why? Because they didn't work. And we've learned from those things. And we're continuing to grow and to be better. So stop telling us what we're doing wrong. Stop telling us that we don't provide anything for you when you're surrounded by the benefit. Stop telling us that Holly's mean and that she's rude and all this other business. Start focusing on what's positive. Start focusing on what Main Street can do for you in a positive way. I love the way Emmi put it, that she looked at everything like, what can I do better? What can I do better to be a better partner with Main Street? I hadn't even thought of it from that perspective because I'm so used to being the kicked dog, and I haven't even been kicked nearly as much as other people that we've already mentioned. So, anything else that you want to add to any of that?
I mean, I think that kind of covered everything. I mean, one of the biggest things that I get hit with events wise is that, it doesn't increase sales on the day of the event. So I guess maybe my last question to Black Box for Emmi would be like, you guys aren't even on the main, you were never part of the events, like your physical location, right? Just because that we don't close off Sackatoon Street, we close off Florence Street. So there are people who do get mad that we close off Florence Street and who don't like that their sales for that day are not higher from one event. Like, why do you participate if you are not directly benefiting exposure-wise?
Mostly because as a theater company in general, I think a lot of people could learn from this actually, is all of our marketing is for a future event. So all of our marketing is for, even if we had an event every single weekend, we're not marketing for come the day of. We're marketing for in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 3 months. Come be a part of this later. And I think if more businesses had the mindset of, I need to advertise for later, not right now. Like, it would be great if people thought of Black Box like on a Saturday night and they're like, oh, what's going on in Casa Grande? Oh, there's always something at Black Box. Let's go over to Black Box and see what's going on down there. Yeah, that's one way. But, if you take it and you say, hey, we want you to come to our event, here's a lollipop. Hey, we want you to come to our event. Here's a free popcorn when you come. That gets people for a future event. You're not saying, come into our store right now and I'll give you a free popcorn. And then they look around and they take their popcorn and go. You're saying, come later for this thing that we're also doing. Like, hey, this is Terminus Days. We're not doing it. Say you don't do anything special for Terminus Days, but you're being able to advertise for, for the bookstore. You say you could be like, book day of the year, whatever. Like, come be a part of downtown book day, in 3 weeks or 2 weeks or a week. You know, come be a part of this event, take this flyer, come to this event. I think that's just like, that's what we get out of it, at least, you know, mostly.
Most of all, don't be closed
Oh my goodness, yeah.
during these events.
Show up to the events.
Yeah, don't be closed when you have 40,000 people walking past your front door.
Looking in.
Yeah, even if you're not selling anything, even if you're not doing anything, oh my gosh, just it's an opportunity for you to put your best foot forward.
We're not even on the main street. The main street. We're on Sackatone Street, and we still make sure during every single one of these events that we have a secretary that, you know, isn't there normally, that we have somebody that is at Black Box, also with flyers, also answering questions, because people, you know, they do think of Black Box when they think downtown, so you don't want people to get there and be closed. And we're not even on I can't imagine being on the main street during street fair and being like, no, don't come into my business on the busiest day of the year. Absolutely none of that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people that hate what we do. I don't care. I'm to the point where, you know what, we're going to keep doing it because why? It's working. And everything that we're doing is positive. We're trying to be focused on the positive. You can do what you want to do, say what you want to say, but at the end of the day, you join us or don't. It doesn't matter. We're still going to keep pushing forward.
I mean, we're not a short-term solution. There's a reason there was a nonprofit made in 1992 that is still here, kicking and pushing. And it's because we don't look at the short term. We have a mission. We have a goal. And I think that's where a lot of businesses and entities get caught up, is that we don't serve necessarily directly in the short term. But that's why we're there. We are there for the long term. We are there to, no matter what, keep everything going, keep everything downtown. You know, whatever hurdle comes. There's been so many. I could just be like, I'm done. But like, no, somebody has to keep it going.
If you don't believe her, look at downtown 5 years ago. Just for reference, I always think 5 years is a good amount of time to go, oh, I didn't realize this trickle effect was happening and now it's a river, you know?
Which, incidentally, that's about the time that I joined the board, just so you know.
It took 2 years kicking and screaming before he joined the board, but that's fine.
But here I am, supporting. And I don't get paid at all. I get nothing. I don't get a stipend or a salary.
Matt gets a pat on the back.
Yeah. I don't even get that sometimes.
Don't worry, Matt. I did it for 2 years before they started paying me as well. It's okay.
I do it because I love it. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because I believe in the mission. I do it because I believe that downtown has a lot of potential. And I've come from an area that had a thriving downtown, and I see what it could be, and I see what we could become. We just all need to get on the same damn page.
Oh, I have something to say to the viewers. If you want this downtown to be like other downtowns that you leave Casa Grande to go to, and listen very closely, participate in our downtown events. When we have wait, let me look.
Dinner roll.
Yeah, when we have a dinner roll, participate in that. You know, when we have karaoke nights, participate in karaoke nights. When there's special events going on that you see around town, don't go, oh, it's in Casa Grande, it must be so lame. Go, participate, because guess what? It's not. It's so much fun. And that's how you grow a downtown. Like, downtown Gilbert is huge. People from all over Arizona go there. Listen, that didn't happen overnight. That's happened over 50 plus years, like, that they've grown to become that. And that, you know, so stop going there and participate here. Now we have Pour Therapy, we have Cookie Jar, we have, you know, we have the theater, we have great things in Casa Grande downtown.
Well, and I want to reiterate, all the businesses that are down there, like when you go to Gilbert, there's a lot of chain stores. There's a lot of like big entities that are up there that are in everywhere.
Yes.
Casa Grande is completely unique. Everything there is mom and pop. Everything there is single owner. Everything there you're not going to find anyplace else. And a lot of it's amazing. It's really, really good. There's people that come from out of town that specifically go back to those spaces simply because it was so good the last time that they were present. And those entities continue to improve, grow, and they collaborate.
Yeah, that's literally the whole reason I love living in Casa Grande. Like, I genuinely, I feel like a lot of people don't love living in Casa Grande for some reason, especially if you're born here. I freaking love Casa Grande. Like, I actually really love Casa Grande.
We talked about this in a previous thing. I was born and raised in Southern California, and so And there were kids that hated Southern California. They said, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. It's just ridiculous. That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard. You always hate where you are. You always have teenage angst, and eventually you grow out of it. Some people don't. Some people never get out of that rut. But you're right. Downtown's amazing. Casa Grande's amazing. We have a lot of potential, and not just that. We have a lot of really positive things happening. Lots of activities to do. Just this list alone would fill up your entire month. Nobody has all the time to do all the stuff that is in even just the downtown area, let alone all of Casa Grande. So,
but you might have time to come to a downtown event instead of go to a, other city event, like a Casa Grande event, Pick one of them.
I mean, what's our unofficial slogan? Casa Grande, it's really not that bad.
Oh, I just love that you also have a different price range for everything too. You have free events all the way up to I guess $35. That's not that expensive actually, but you know what I mean? It's you guys have so many free events on top of like going to Black Box is $15 for 2.5 great hours of your life,
No, it is well worth it. I will reiterate, Black Box is worth it. You will be entertained. Even the little kid shows are great. I've seen almost every show that you guys have done, and I am always I walk away, I tell my wife, that was awesome. I've been in theater. I'm familiar with it. I know how it works. I know the technicality behind it. To get the kids, I don't know what you do to get the kids to do what they do, but it's amazing. They are completely, there's no lack of talent in Casa Grande. You just have to go to where it's at. And if you do, you'll be rewarded. It's a blast.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone come see The Lightning Thief, a Percy Jackson musical, including you two.
Well, I'll be there. I don't know about Holly. Holly, maybe not.
Holly comes if I text her 3 times, and then she feels bad for me. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. She comes to a lot of shows.
I gotta find a babysitter. I gotta get a lot of plans. Anything after 7 p.m. is real hit and miss for me, guys.
Well, on that note, I think it's time that I hear the music playing. It's time to put it to bed. Again, collaborate with us. If you'd like to know more about Casa Grande Main Street, you can visit us at
cgmainstreet.org, or really any version of that. It takes you to our website.
That's right. And since we have Emmi here, we'll let you do another shameless plug.
Look into all of our events at blackboxcg.org.
And it's well worth it, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this episode. You can listen to this podcast and previous episodes anywhere that your podcasts are found. And with that, we're out.